G'day, legends. Sty, that Aussie metal guy here with Crank.com. So tonight, wherever you are in the world, it was great pleasure that I'm joined by an artist who's no stranger to pushing boundaries in the Australian alternative music scene, from Aftertouch to his project Up Late, and now stepping into the spotlight with Besties alongside producer and multi-instrumentalist Nat Sherwood. These guys have been part of some of the most exciting music coming out of Sydney. Besties have already turned heads with their explosive blend of emo, alt rock, and hip hop, and their latest EP, You Made a Mess of Me, proves just how raw and fearless their vision really is. With Bigsound 2025 around the corner, it's the perfect time to dive into some music from Besties and Max Pasalic. Cheers for joining me, my friend.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here. What an
Absolute,
intro.
absolute bloody pleasure, man. I'm going to chuck this one in there. Earliest musical memory for you.
Probably listening to like rockabilly music from like car VHS tapes from my dad. My dad's a hot rodder, so yeah, he would play rockabilly and stuff like that. But I remember there was this VHS called Mad Fabricators. That was probably like my first like alternative music that I listened to, and it was, yeah, like rockabilly, psychobilly, and stuff like that. So that's probably it.
Yeah. Kids, VHS is something we used to watch movies on back in the fucking day.
You know what's so funny about VHS too is I just started collecting them,
Yep.
and I'm deathly into them. So if anybody's listening and wants to sell me their old horror or music VHS tapes, get at me, please.
I know a guy out of Sydney as well. Tom from Carnal Viscera. He's mad on the VHS
Is he?
as well. He's a collector as well, man. Really,
Hell yeah.
we're getting sidetracked as well. So when was the moment that you were like, dude, I want to be a musician? Tell me a little bit about how you first started moving into being a vocalist and becoming a musician.
Um, I think when I was really young, probably like 12, 13, when I kind of got into high school, I was listening to like bands like Fall Out Boy and Blink and whatnot. But it wasn't until I went to like my local. I used to be this is super random, but I used to be a freestyle wrestler, and I used to train at Lake PCYC. Yeah, yeah. And it was just so happened that I was training one day and there was a poster for a House First Hurricane show at that same PCYC. And I was like, holy shit, I've heard that band. Why are they playing like the club? Like, and I didn't realize that they would have bands there. And then I just started to go every single yeah, show at my local PCYC I would go to. And because they knew me, they let me in for free. So I could watch the band set up and watch them sound check. And yeah, that's when I kind of really was like, oh, I want to do this. And honestly, like I just suck at guitar and any other instrument. So, and I was the only one that was probably a dickhead enough to want to talk shit on the microphone. So that's probably how I got my start.
Yeah, I'm from Brisbane originally. Brizzy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
Brisbane originally, dude. So
yeah.
good old PCYCs on the Friday nights and that were pretty good for a lot of us youth as well.
Oh, 100%, man. Like that was the move for like all of my friends. Like, yeah, someone's mum would drop us off there and then we'd go there from, yeah, sound check until they packed down, and probably another hour and a half just talking all the bands, talking their ear off. So yeah, the PCYC is a move, man. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was the best.
I got to talk about your other projects before I jump into besties,
Yeah.
man. Tell me about Aftertouch. That project is amazing. Each of those other project bands you have going on, pardon me, they're absolutely amazing. They all kind of different sound and genre and seem to kind of
Yeah.
showcase a different element of your vocal ability.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that band we started that after like kind of during high school and kind of the tail end, and that was the first time that I was in a band that really took it seriously, and we like signed, and that was like then it was like my first experience touring, and not that we ever went international or anything, but we toured Australia a bunch of times, and it was really cool to, I guess, experience like everybody in the band was like really trying to like elevate and get better. And when I started that, I was only really a screamer. I was a fucking terrible singer. And I really pushed myself to work out how to do that. So it was like, getting singing lessons, and then yeah, like, baptism of fire by like trying to tour, and obviously like singing every night on tour, and even just, working out how to kind of blend like screaming and singing together in a set. That's really hard. So yeah, that was really like, I don't know. I look back like super fond on that band. Like, and even I still listen to some of the music today, and it's like I can't believe that we came up with some of the stuff that we did, because yeah, we weren't old, you know what I mean? Like we're like kind of late teens, early 20s. And then yeah, from there, like with Aftertouch, then I started working with Nat, who I'm now in Besties with, and he was the producer for Up Late, and he really kind of like widened my kind of spectrum on what was possible. And I didn't have to just rely on it just being like a solely like a guitar driven song or like a band driven song. Like he was like, let's try different things. And I met him at just before COVID. So we worked right through COVID together. So he and I were getting, free money from the government just to kind of dick around and experiment. So we would just be in that studio for days on end, just, we have so many different demos, most of them terrible, but of like, music from a bunch of different genres. So it's interesting that, like being able to kind of develop my voice with Aftertouch and then working so closely with a producer like Nat for a year or two before the band that I'm in now, it really kind of set us up for success with it, I think. So
Well, it wasn't free money. Musicians need to get paid as well, everybody.
yeah, yeah.
Besides the point, anyway, it only seems like a natural progression for you and Nat to kind of make that next step and do a project together. When was the moment you two guys were working together and you're like, hey, dude, I think me and you
Yeah.
fucking need to do something together?
I don't know. I can't even really pinpoint the exact moment, but it was probably in and around. There was a competition on Triple J that I'd entered the previous year with Nat, and it was called. I don't think they do it anymore, but it was called the DIY Supergroup competition.
Yep.
And basically, the idea of that competition was a bunch of big name artists would send in samples or like little vocal lines or just guitar licks, whatever, and they would throw like a big folder like on this Dropbox, and if you wanted to do the competition, you'd download that, and then you'd use as many samples as possible to create like a whole new song. Um, and yeah, like I said, Nat and I had tried it in the past, and we got some honorable mentions, but we never got to the final stage. And I think it was like 2023 we did it, maybe. He and I just went hell for leather, and we did this song called Two Bedroom Apartment, which
Yep.
we used as many samples from that as we could. One of which was vocals from this pop artist Holly Humberstone, and yeah, that's a fucking amazing song. And we ended up winning that competition. And in and around that, probably that process of working on that song and using those samples and whatnot, we're like, fuck, like we've spent 18 months or 2 years working together. We work really well together. Like we spend so much fucking time together. Why am I still trying to do this as like air quotes like a solo project when I do everything with you anyway? Like we should just do this as kind of like a duo or a band. And yeah, so it's probably in and around then, to be honest. Yeah. And like I said before, with kind of working out um, my, again, air quotes, voice, like sounds kind of wanky saying that, but I think you know what I mean. Like he was super instrumental in helping me, be confident enough to try different things and to sing live and to do all those things. Not that I didn't do that with Aftertouch, but I was always, very nervous and cautious whenever Aftertouch would play. But I feel like when I met Nat, he kind of opened my eyes a little bit to the process, and yeah, he's been instrumental in making me confident. So yeah, that's probably one.
It kind of pushed you out of your comfort zone a little bit more to kind of
Yeah.
take that next step and evolve a little bit further. Because, like you said, listening through each of these bands, amazing bands, but it's like you can hear this evolution in your voice as well as
Yeah.
the longer your career has gone on, and you've had
Yeah.
been able to push the boundaries a little bit more, and then coming into Besties, it's something
Mm,
totally different. Like I know Sleeping with Sirens, aka Pierce
mm,
the Veil, kind of sounds going on as
mm.
well.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah. That both of those bands were like massive influences to me early on as well. So yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, and what was the first single that dropped out? Loser? Was that the first one you officially dropped after was that
Yeah.
just before the Triple J around the same time anyway, wasn't it?
Just after, yeah. So the funny story with that was and even maybe more context to like the whole band and everything. I probably said this before, but I I was in a record deal at the time, and Nat was really instrumental as well in helping me get out of that. If he wasn't if he didn't help me with that, I probably would still be in that deal, or I probably wouldn't even be able to release music at the moment. So
Fuck.
yeah, so it's pretty crazy. But that, so Loser, and then now the first whole Besties EP, um, Flare Guns in Living Room. That whole EP was actually delivered to the label for Up Late originally, and the label were like, "Oh, I don't think it's like quite ready. Like, I think you need to like work on some more stuff. Like, we don't know if it's quite right." And that was, for me, that was probably one of my. I was like, "Fuck, I think this is good. Like, I think we." I don't think I agree with you, and I
Yeah.
kind of pushed back on them, and then that was the start of that process. So yeah, Loser was the first single from that EP, and yeah, it took us a little while to get it out, but yeah, it came out I think September 2023. Yeah, a month or a couple months maybe after the DIY Supergroup song came out. Yeah,
I'm glad you pushed back, dude. That's a catchy ass song. There's a lot of
yeah,
your the songs in the Besties catalog have these real big fucking hooks, man, that I found
Mm.
myself walking away and still like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
like
just bopping them. Yeah,
loving it, dude.
that's like our thing with it, is like we're just like with this band, it's like simple, stupid, and just focus on like whenever we go to write a song, um, 9 times out of 10, the best songs that we have just come from like Nat playing guitar and then like four chords, then he and I just trying to work out a chorus first, like humming an idea or like saying a lyric or something, and then we build all the songs around a chorus. So we go like chorus and catchy part first, and then everything else kind of comes around. And I think that that's what's always helped us with yeah, writing these like real kind of, yeah, kind of catchy, simple, stupid pop punk songs. So yeah,
Yeah, and some of your music is really the lyrics kind of are really brutally honest and kind of hit
yeah,
hard at times, and others kind of have that upbeat
yeah.
feel to them. But a lot of them really kind of hit hard, and it kind of almost feels like you're letting some things out. And man, I fucking
Mm.
connected to a lot of these tracks as
Hell
well
yeah, that's awesome.
myself. How do you approach songwriting? Almost, like with this.
I like, we always, whenever we sit down to try and come up with like the concept of the song, um, it's more often than not we'll just, Nat and I will try and, or if we have, sometimes we also have co-writers as well that will come in with their own ideas or concepts, but most of the time we just think about a really shitty time in our life, and use that as the basis. And then we try and work out together, like, do we want to poke fun at this concept? Like, do we want to make light of the shitty situation, or do we feel like we need to be a bit
Yeah.
more serious with it? And with our process, I'm normally the one that's a lot more like, oh, let's be dumb and stupid and poke fun at it. And Nat is a lot more, he wants to be serious. Nat's definitely like the I don't know, like he's kind of the savant with it. Like he's the real musical one. He's the one that can really turn an idea from nothing to something. So sometimes, yeah, he can if he says to me, no, no, this has to be serious, then I'm like, yes, Captain, I'll follow you. Like whatever you say. So yeah.
Yeah, and you guys managed to jump on a tour. I did look at some of the guest performances. You did one with Between You and Me,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
those guys are super fucking cool. You ended up going on
Yeah.
tour with them, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, we did. That was the first tour that we did as besties,
Yeah.
and it was really cool because like where we were lucky enough to be really good friends with those guys even before we went on tour, and then yeah, when they announced, well, not even when they announced, when they were working on the tour, yeah, they reached out to us and they're like, oh, like, would you guys be keen? And we're like, hell yeah, it's like literally perfect, like our sounds are so similar, and like we love you guys, like, um so yeah, let's do it. Like we'd love to hang out for a week or two with you guys. So yeah, it was really lucky too because obviously like that whole tour was sold out,
Yeah.
and everybody in those rooms were just, big pop punk fans. So for us to like walk out and, most of the people not know us, we were leaving with so many new fans. Like not that like I try and get caught up in the numbers of stuff because it just sucks if you do, but it
Yeah,
was
I
really
fucking
funny. Like,
oath.
yeah, you'd get off stage and like you just look at your Instagram and be like, fuck, we have 40 new followers. Like that rules. Like just from people in the crowd just seeing us, and like the amount of mentions and stuff that you get on the story and whatnot, and people at the merch line being like, I had no idea who you were, but you guys rule. So, and then then as well, like we just before that tour, we had this song that we were writing called Two Wrongs, And we yeah reached out to JT who sings for Between You and Me, and we were like, hey, do you want to sing that part that we wrote? And he was like, hell yeah. So it was cool. I've done some music videos for them as well, and like Nat's helped them out with some studio stuff too. So like we're pretty tied in with them. So yeah, they're real fun. We love them.
Yeah, it was about 5 degrees of separation in the Australian music scene as well. And then
Yeah,
you guys
everyone
know
knows everybody.
a whole bunch of people. You also done track with Headstrong,
Yeah.
Filler. Oh, more recently, we'll talk about the new shit, man. You've been dropping those few new singles, man. Are absolutely unreal. You made a mess of me is absolutely unreal. The Dance on My Grave track hits hard, as does Love Bombs as well, and the title track. Tell us about those three tracks and making them ones, dude. Because you did have
Um,
yours truly as well guest on that track,
yeah,
Bombs, which was cool as fuck.
yeah, thanks, man. It yeah, those songs were they were kind of like Lucy's, like they were just we did them in random sessions and we loved them, but we weren't really in the space to be like, oh, let's do like a longer EP or let's do an album yet. But we
Yep.
really loved those songs, and we we're like, man, we got to work out what to do with them. And we're like, let's just drop them as singles and then have like a little EP at the end. But yeah, we the one in particular that we all love and I think is probably like our most popular song now, yeah, is Love Bombs with yours truly. Um we actually wrote that. I don't know if you know her name. Her name's Ula. She's like a great like pop singer from Sydney. And her and I followed each other on TikTok many years ago. And finally, yeah, probably like, I don't know, however long, 18 months, 2 years ago now, we reached out to her and said, look, like, we'd love to have you on a song. Do you want to come in and we can write something together? And she actually wrote Love Bombs with us. And then when it came time when, you know, we were working on mixing the song and finishing it, um, she was like, oh, I've got these other things going on. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to like commit to the song fully, like, or with promotion and stuff. I'm like, that's cool. Like, can we take the idea or can we take the song elsewhere and try and find somebody else to sing your part maybe, or like to finish it with? And she was, you know, really gracious to let us do that. And again, similar thing with Between You and Me. Nat and I have done work with yours truly. Like I shot some photos for them and have worked on some stuff with them. And Nat co-wrote some stuff on their latest album. And in and around that time, oh, Nat also like has toured with them a lot as well as a
Yeah.
session bass player.
Yep.
And yeah, we were in a green room in Wollongong actually, and we played her the song, and she was like, "Yeah, this is amazing. It's really cool." And then yeah, a couple of months later, we tied down some studio time with her, and she came in and she recorded it, and yeah, she smashed it. And we're like, "Oh, you 100% have to be the singer on this." And then Teddy came in from yours truly, and he played some guitars on it, and he did some screams as well. So we tried to really make it like a big collaboration between us. And yeah, we dropped it, and it's like, yeah, been like probably our most popular song. And then yeah, and then yours truly were cool enough to be like, hey, like, do you want to come on tour? So yeah, we ended up doing an Australian tour with them like 2 months ago now. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. I've got to ask as well, Dance on My Grave, killer track
Mm,
as well. Title,
thanks.
you listen to it, yeah, oh yeah, wait a sec. But it feels like
Yeah,
a real I don't know, it feels like a real upbeat song to me, man. I feel like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like, you know what I mean? Just fucking, I'm gonna get through it all. It's cool as shit. I was popping all the way to the shops listening to
Hell
this,
yeah.
man.
That one, like going back to what we are saying before about, you know, we try and think of a shitty situation and then we go, you know, are we
One
going to
way or the
go
other.
one way or the other? And that one's definitely like, that's definitely my song, like being, you know, super silly with that, like wearing corpse paint to like your job and like, you know, like spiking the water cooler and shit like that. Like I
Yep.
love that stuff. Like, I think that's so funny. Like reminds me of like Blink or like old pop punk, like that kind of stuff. Like and yeah, so like that one it was funny because like that one I loved, and I think some of the other guys were like, oh, it's cool, but we're not maybe 100% on it. And I
Oh,
really, really fought for it. And then Nat was like, yeah, like he's like, I fully see the vision for it now. And it's probably one of my favorite ones to play live. It's so hard because there's so many lyrics. So like I'm like
yes.
trying to like find where I can like take breaths when I'm playing. So when if you ever see us play live, whenever I play that song, I'm always like stood in like one spot. So I'm like trying to make sure that like I don't exert too much force or pressure. So yeah, it's a fun one. I love it.
Yeah, and I do got to ask, you guys originally started out as a two-piece. I should have asked this a little bit earlier, and
Yeah,
then you grew out to a band. What was that
yeah.
like, kind of expanding yourself out and going from that two-piece to a
It's a
full-grown
full
band with the
band.
other guys?
Yeah, yeah. We did that. So it was for that Between You and Me tour.
Yeah,
We got Brent on drums, who plays for another band called Weightless, and then we got
James.
James on from Headstrong. Yeah, yeah, to play bass for us. And it started with James because James he'd co-written some stuff with us and he tracked some of the guitar stuff for us because he's just an amazing session guitarist. Like he's got a metronome in his brain, man. Like he's crazy. And Nat was always like, I want to get James in on the guitar stuff to help him. And then yeah, when it came time to work out what the lineup would be like, to play as a full band, obviously we asked him, we're like, do you want to be involved? And he was like, hell yeah, like love you guys, let's do it. And then the same with Brent. And then yeah, we went on the tour, and then we did like South by Southwest together, and then we did a bunch of other shows, like some stuff with AMPM, and then we did. I think it was just before we did a couple shows with Lil Lotus when he was out here, like his headline shows, and yeah, around that time we'd said to the guys, look, like yeah, it's a two-piece, I guess, but you guys are just as involved in this as us now. So it would be silly for you guys not to be as invested in the band as we are. So yeah, they were stoked and they wanted to like properly be a part of it. So yeah, it's cool. But right now, like it's actually funny because we Brent has moved over to bass and then James is on guitar now. So we have Noah from Days Like These. He plays drums for us live, but we're kind of at the point now where we're like, oh, maybe we got to find someone to like properly be the drummer in our band now because yeah, we've already asked Noah, but he's full steam with Days Like These. So I fully get it, but yeah, so we might expand a little bit more. Who knows? We'll see.
Get someone who can play both so you can just do musical instruments on the fucking nine. Really fuck with
Honestly,
people, dude.
I would love to do that. It's why the reason that we don't do that is just that it's probably me. I'm too shit at all the other instruments that I couldn't
Yeah.
do it. I can only sing, and even that's a fucking stretch. So it's all the other guys can swap, but I'd have to stay with the mic, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I gotta mention Big Sound 2025. That's on the horizons. You guys have been called up to come up there as well. What's that kind of mean you guys to get a little bit more coverage? I know you're playing all over the place, but these
Mm,
tours and
mm,
things like being on Triple J and then getting up
mm,
to Big Sound and kind of gets you
mm.
guys out. It's a tough fucking slog, but it's
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
good to do these kind of things for you as a band. What's it mean to you, man?
Yeah, I think that it helps us find the right people in this industry. It helps us, I guess, yeah, kind of just get in front of these people who we might not get another opportunity to talk to them or to get them to see us play. And I think that stuff like this can be really helpful with like if you're trying to find an agent or if you're trying to find a record label, and in this day and age those things are definitely valuable to your success. We're very fortunate that we do have a lot of these kind of industry connections already, but for a band like us who we're still in our infancy and we're still pushing as hard as we can. But we're working on an album right now, and we've just signed to a record deal as well. And we're trying to look to the future and look overseas. And for us, Big Sound is they're bringing in a lot of these agents and these labels from that are international. And this is our opportunity to talk to them and kind of show them what Besties is about. And yeah, what better forum than a live show? So yeah.
Yeah, it's a great. I think it's been great for them. I've been following these guys for a while. They've been sending
Mm,
over, and I've been chatting to bands
mm,
the last few years. This year, I'm a little bit
mm.
more active on it, but it
Cool.
seems like a really great place for both yourself and people on the other side to kind of meet and connect. As you said, I've spoken to a couple of bands. Even just little things you can give advice to each other as well also
Mm,
helps grow and
yeah.
go forward as well for both.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of like cool initiatives with different brands and partners and
Yep.
stuff that again you wouldn't really have the opportunity to probably do if it wasn't for somebody like an intermediary like a Big Sound.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of like really awesome initiatives for bands and singers and stuff like at these events as well. Like so yeah, it's really important. It's funny as well. Like I played Bigsound with Aftersouch maybe 8 years ago now when I was pretty young, and that's how we got our first agent, and then started touring. So it's for young bands and even bands like us who are maybe like have had some more years in this industry. It's super important and super valuable.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, we already know what's next for you guys. You just did mention you are signed. You have got an album on the way.
Mm,
Looking forward to all that. I'll have to get you on when you're a little bit closer to dropping the album.
for
We'll talk
sure.
all about it. Jump into a couple of quick fire questions, mate.
Mm.
First album you ever brought with your own money?
Infinity on High by Fall Out Boy.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's
Yeah, yeah,
groovy as
yeah,
fuck, man. First
yeah.
concert you ever went to, bud?
Oh man, I don't know. There's probably more, but the first one that was pivotal was probably House Best Hurricane at Lake Illawarra PCYC.
Hell yeah, man. Album or artist you still go back to when you need some grounding?
Yeah, Typo Negative.
Yeah, dude. If you could cover one song, what would it be, man? Any song, pop, whatever, bro.
It'd probably be a Typo Negative song. Uh, I don't know that. Yeah, probably World Coming Down or Everyone I Love Is Dead.
Damn straight. Besties are proving to be one of the most exciting names in the Aussie's alt scene right now. And Max at the helm, delivering raw emotional honesty through every track. It's clear why their new EP, You Made a Mess of Me, is out now. And they'll be tearing up stages, Bigsound, this September. Huge thanks for joining me, mate, to talk about all about the music. Any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, my friend?
Just thank you, Joe, for having us on. Oh, for having me on. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Absolute bloody pleasure. Everybody go out, get some besties, chuck it in the stereo, crank it fucking loud. The neighbors are going to want to hear it too. Cheers, guys.